In the dusty outskirts of Route 66, where the sun dipped low like a weary traveler, the rusty spur diner hummed with the low growl of engines and the clink of beer bottles. It was a Friday evening in late summer, the kind where the air smelled of hot asphalt and forgotten dreams. The Chrome Wolves, a ragtag crew of bikers who'd ridden together for 2 decades, had pulled in for their ritual stop. Led by Jax Harlan, a grizzled veteran with tattoos snaking up his arms like ancient rivers. They were a sight. Leather vests patched with skulls and flames. Harleys gleaming under the neon sign. Jax nursed a black coffee, his laugh booming as he recounted a close call on the Nevada backroads. The others, Big Mike with his barrel chest, Lena the sharp-tongued mechanic, and Rico, the quiet one with eyes like storm clouds, joined in, their voices a thunderous chorus. It was their sanctuary, this pit stop, far from the world's judgments. The bell above the door jingled, cutting through the noise like a hesitant melody. In walked Aria Voss, all of 17, her slender frame swallowed by an oversized leather jacket that hung off her shoulders like a borrowed cloak. Her auburn hair cascaded in wild waves, framing a face pale with the weight of unspoken sorrows. She clutched a worn backpack, her boots scuffed from miles on foot. The diner fell into a momentary hush, then erupted in chuckles from the wolves' table. "Look at that," Big Mike snorted, elbowing Jax. "Little princess playin' dress up in daddy's old coat? What's next, a tiara on the handlebars?" Lena leaned back smirking. "Bet she thinks that feather boa— wait, no, that's fringe— makes her one of us. Honey, you need more than a thrift store relic to ride with the pack." Aria froze mid-step, her cheeks flushing crimson. She wasn't here for trouble. She just needed a soda and a map to the next town. Her journey had started 3 weeks ago, after the letters stopped coming from her mom in Seattle. Hitchhiking from Ohio, she'd pieced together enough cash for gas money, but the jacket, her only inheritance from the father she'd barely known, was her armor against the endless highway. The laughter swelled, Rico's low guffaw joining the fray for the first time that night. Aria's eyes stung, but she straightened, chin lifting like a flag in the wind. She wasn't going to cry here, not in front of these leather-clad giants who saw her as a punchline. Sliding onto a stool at the counter, she ordered her drink with a voice steady as steel. "Coke, please. And a road map if you've got one." The waitress, a kind-eyed woman named Mabel, nodded sympathetically and slid the drink over. But the wolves weren't done. Jax, ever the showman, called out, "Hey, kid! What's the story with that jacket? You raid a scarecrow's closet?" The diner patrons shifted uncomfortably, but Aria turned slowly, meeting Jax's gaze. Up close, the jacket's patchwork told a different tale. Faded badges from long-gone rallies, a sun-bleached emblem of a howling wolf, and in the center, a single embroidered patch, its threads frayed but defiant. It read in bold script, "In memory of Elias Voss, Ride Eternal, brother. Fallen 2012, Iraq." The laughter died like a stalled engine. Jax's mug paused halfway to his lips. His eyes, hardened by too many sunsets and too few homecomings, locked on the patch. "Elias Voss?" His voice cracked, a fissure in the mountain of a man. Aria nodded, her fingers tracing the stitching absent-mindedly. "Yeah, he was my dad. Never met him, really. Mom said he rode with a crew like yours before he shipped out. Sent this jacket home in a box after— well, you know." She shrugged, but the motion was anything but casual. It was the shrug of someone who'd learned to carry ghosts on her back. Big Mike leaned forward, his massive frame suddenly small. "Elias Voss? The Eagle? Hell, we called him that 'cause he could spot a desert mirage from a mile off. Rode with us in '08 right before the surge. Saved my ass in Fallujah, pulled me out of a burning Humvee. Said, 'Mike, life's too short for bad coffee and worse company.'" Lena's smirk vanished, replaced by a sheen of tears. She blinked away furiously. "He was the one who taught me to weld. Gave me my first toolkit." "Lena," he said, "fix what's broken before it breaks you." "I owe him my shop back in Tulsa." Rico, silent Rico, stood abruptly, his chair scraping like a confession. He crossed the diner in 3 strides and knelt beside Aria, his calloused hand hovering before gently touching the patch. This was his road name patch. We buried him with his colors, but he always said the jacket was for the living, for the ride that never ends. The wolves gathered around her stool, a circle of leather and regret, their eyes glistening under the harsh fluorescent lights. Jax pulled up a chair, his voice a gravelly whisper. "Kid, Arya, right? Your old man wasn't just a writer. He was our heart. When the call came from the base, we rode 1,000 miles in silence, engines off, just to feel him one last time. Lit candles on his bike at the wall, but we never knew about you." Arya's throat tightened, the coke forgotten. For the first time since stepping into this world of chrome and thunder, she felt seen. Not as a girl in a too big jacket, but as Elias's legacy. Mom never talked much, said it hurt too bad. But she gave me this before she left, told me to find my way like he would have. The air thickened with unspoken vows. Mabel dimmed the lights, sensing the sacredness of the moment. Outside, the Harleys stood sentinel, their shadows long and protective. Jax wiped his face with a bandana, unashamed. "You ain't hitching no more, Arya. You're riding with us. We'll get you to Seattle, or wherever the road calls. Elias's girl. That's family. And family don't walk alone." As dawn broke, painting the horizon in hues of rose and gold, the convoy roared to life. Arya straddled the back of Jax's bike, the jacket now a banner of belonging, the patch a bridge across lost years. The wind whipped her hair, carrying whispers of engines and echoes, her father's voice in the rumble, urging her forward. Big Mike revved beside them, hollering over the roar, "For Elias! Ride eternal!" Tears streamed down Arya's face, mingling with the spray of gravel, but they were tears of release, not sorrow. In that jacket, she'd found more than leather. She'd found a pack, a purpose, a piece of the man who'd loved her from afar. The highway stretched endless before them, a vein of possibility pulsing with life. And as the sun climbed, so did Arya's spirit, higher, freer, forever changed. For in the laughter that had turned to tears, she'd learned the truth of the road. What starts as mockery can mend the deepest fractures, and sometimes, a single patch is enough to stitch a soul back together. Thank you for watching this story till the end. If it touched your heart, please support us, give it a like, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us.